Cubs make their first move to improve the bullpen, and they bring back a former Cub, a former fourth-round pick, Tyson Miller, who came up through the Cubs organization, made his debut for the Cubs in 2020. We're going to talk about what Tyson Miller brings to the table after starting out this season with the Mariners, and the guy that the Cubs sent out, a player that many of you have asked, why isn't this guy getting a shot? Well, Jake Slaughter, we wish him the best. We're going to talk about the newest Mariner as well. All that right here on the Cubs baseball channel. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let's get this thing going. Let's talk about this big trade. Is it enormous? No, but it's big because it shows that the Cubs are trying to improve the bullpen. So it's the first move that they're making to try to rebuild and figure out a way to get some outs. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell so you know when stuff like this is going on, when we're dropping new videos. All right, guys, let's get right into it today. Here's the news. It's breaking right now, and that is that the Cubs are acquiring Tyson Miller in a trade with the Mariners. Now, he was designated for assignment by the Mariners. Miller now is 28 years old. He signed a minor league deal with the Mariners in the offseason, and then he was selected in April to the major league team. 11 2/3 innings, 9 appearances. He had a 3.09 ERA. He has done a nice job with the strikeouts, almost 27%, 26.7% to just a 2.2% walk rate in this small scale of pitching. But he's been doing well, and he's always been someone that I feel like's been on the verge of being really good. I mean, he's got good stuff. His batting average against is 207 this year. And so, look, everything that you could ask for has been good. The Mariners had to option him because they had to make a move to bring someone else in. And so he was available. And then the Cubs had to make a move to try to get Miller, and they gave up Jake Slaughter. We're going to talk about Slaughter, but let's just kind of lock in here on Miller and his career. Miller was drafted by the Cubs 2016 in the 4th round, came up through the Cubs organization out of California Baptist. He was predominantly a starter in the Cubs minor league system. I had a good look at him in 2018 and 2019. Guy's got good stuff. He eventually got to the big leagues in 2020 and pitched in 2 games. One of them was a start, 5 innings he pitched, and gave up in those 5 innings 2 hits and 3 runs with 3 walks and no strikeouts. And that was it. He ended up pitching for the Cubs a little bit in 2021, then with the Rangers, then stayed with the Rangers 22, and kind of bounced around, was with Milwaukee, with the Mets, this year with Seattle. He also pitched with the Dodgers in 23. So he's kind of a guy who's been around the block. Now, he really hasn't thrown a whole lot. Talked about this year, just a small sample size, but he did a nice job in those appearances. And in his career, he's only thrown in 91 games, but a 2-2 record and a 5.91 ERA. He's someone that the Cubs are hoping that can come in. He's a right-hander that can help them get some outs. And, you feel like with this bullpen right now that they just need arms, guys that can come in and contribute because, if they can add someone that can go out there and get some outs, could be a big difference. But he's 6'5", again, a right-hander with some experience and off to a pretty good start. Now, the Cubs gave up Jake Slaughter as the guy going out. Jake Slaughter is a really interesting player, but he's someone that the Cubs front office really just wasn't interested too much in. Maybe some people there, but you never felt like the guy was taken very seriously. From West Monroe, Louisiana, former 2-sport star in high school and went to LSU for baseball. Cubs got him in the 18th round in 2018. He had been drafted before by the Cubs and decided to stay in college. Comes from an athletic family, and parents, cousins. I think his uncle played football at Louisiana Tech, and so did I want to say maybe even his grandfather backed up Terry Bradshaw. I mean, he comes from a family of athletes, and that was the thing that we noticed about him in the minor leagues, is that you could tell that there was a process going on as far as him learning how to play baseball every day, just as a great athlete. 2022 in Double A, he hit 293, had 20 home runs and 68 runs batted in. And I had a scout come up and tell me, if you'd have seen this guy playing defense 2 years ago, you would be shocked at how much better he's gotten. So last year spent the entire season in Iowa, put up the power numbers again, 22 home runs, 77 runs batted in. He's also a base stealing threat. 85 of those in his career. He had 28 for the Smokies in 22. Last year had 16. And this year he's already at 10. So this year for Iowa was kind of like that second year, that first year with the Smokies, where he's batting almost 300, 297. And he's got 5 home runs and 17 batted in. And an on-base percentage near 400 at 392. It just didn't feel like he was getting traction in the Cubs organization. This is something I'm sure he's going to be really excited about, because there's the potential for him in his career to be one of those guys who just keeps figuring it out as he goes up each level, and then eventually gets a shot and takes advantage of it. Spring training was at a game. I sat in the on-deck circle, basically behind the net, against the Diamondbacks, and, watched him crank one out of the park. Like, the guy's got a lot of power. He's strong. He's kind of built almost like a Mike Trout type guy, just because he's so muscular, looks like a football player playing baseball. He can play second base. He's played a lot of third base. I'm sure you could put him in the outfield if you wanted to, and he could figure that out. But predominantly, he played third base until last year, then started playing some second, and he was back at third this year as well. So you wish him the best. The Mariners, obviously got something good in return, and the Cubs got what they needed, and that's pitching in Tyson Miller. So that's the first trade. Happened after the game. Cubs probably were like, look, we need some help. Be able to, see what was out there. You had to give up a pretty good piece for him in Slaughter. But, at the same time, with the situation that the Cubs are in, that bullpen, don't be surprised if you don't see more trades like this. But I wanted to get that information out to you guys and tell you that trade was made. And again, personally, love Jake Slaughter. Great guy. Hope, awesome family. Dad's a great dude. I hope that he has nothing but success in Seattle. And Tyson Miller, know him too. Good dude. It's exciting that he's going to get an opportunity right now to pitch. And if he can get the job done, he might be the next Mark Leiter Jr. or the next Julian Merriweather. Like, he's got the potential to do that. I'm not saying he's overpowering, but the guy's got movement, throws strikes, and can get outs. That's what we got right here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, make sure that you're a subscriber to the channel, because when stuff like this happens and it's, the middle of the night, we'll jump out here and tell you about it. And that's what we're doing right now. So like and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Cubs baseball channel. And we'll be here when things go on with the Cubs.